Welcome back to Dynamics. Okay, so I'm redoing this video. That's why it's coming out a little bit late. I had done it previously, but I was a little under the weather. I still technically am, but I think my voice sounds a little bit better right now. In the last time I tried it, it went really long, and I didn't want these videos to be that long. Went really long in part because my dogs kind of got into an argument during the middle of the video. So I'm just going to go ahead and redo this, maybe split it into two videos covering all of the June 16th spoilers. I'll keep an eye on the time of the video as we go. And then I will upload this. So it's a little later than my normal videos, but here we go. Let's take a look at the spoilers from June 16th. Okay, so there's no sugarcoating this. We'll start with one of the most disappointing mythics of the set. It's Lord of Extinction. It's had a few reprints. The art hasn't changed. The only time the art changed was on the Amonkhet Invocation. If I wanted a copy of this card, it would probably be that copy, just because the art's different. It just feels different. The foil etch is okay, the extended art is okay, but really pulling one of these would be disappointing. And another example of the foil etch being a lot more expensive than they're going to end up being, so don't pay the pre-order price. All right, moving on to one of the most disappointing rares of the set, Splinter Freight. Splinter Freight, definitely, I mean, as far as having reprints, it's only had two previous, the original printing and then the reprinting in Commander 2020. But because it was a reprint in a Commander Precon, it's readily available. It's very cheap. It's not a widely used card. I might put it in an elemental deck, so maybe I'll get the the foil etched version once it drops all the way down. But it's, it'd be a disappointing pull. Moving on to one of the best rares in the set, Vendelkin Orrery. So Vendelkin Orrery, I have quite a few printings of. I have the one from Fifth Dawn, I have the one from Conspiracy, the one from the list. But what I would love to have is either the etched foil or that full art, because that full art is amazing. I love that art. So I would actually rather have that than the foil etched, even though I really like how the artifacts look in the foil etch. I love foil etch in general, but this art is just too good. But if I pulled a foil etch, I wouldn't be disappointed, and I don't think I would go out and purchase the full art if I had the foil etch. If I don't pull either one, though, I don't have a foil copy of Vendelkin Orrery, so I think I would try to go out and find a full art version, full art foil version of this card. All right, moving on. So, first, Ulamog, we talked about it in a previous video, so I'm not going to talk about it now. It's a very exciting mythic. It's one of the mythics that I would love to pull. Moving on. Muldrosa. I love Muldrosa. Muldrosa is a great card in Commander. I have a Muldrosa deck. But my problem is we already had the foil etched version in Commander Legends. I don't think it should be in this set. It doesn't really make sense to me to have it in this set. Obviously, I don't want this foil etched version when I have this foil etched version, and this kind of shows you that price discrepancy I've been talking about. There's no way this is going to stay at $27.99 when this is $7.62, and it's basically the same card. This one just has the little Commander Legends logo in there, but it's basically the same exact card. So unless the foil etching is like a better quality and people like it more, there's no reason this is going to be $27.99. The only good side about putting this in the Double Master set is this full art version. That's some beautiful art. I'd be hard pressed to replace my foil etch with it, but if I pulled it, I would definitely consider it because I do really, really like that art. Okay, moving on. This is one of the better rares in the set. Also, Frixion Alter. I have a Frixion Alter from the Ultimate Masters printing, so it's basically the same thing. I would love to get a foil etch version of it though. And this, again, this full art art is just so good. I can't even imagine like not picking that full art. So I think that if I pulled it, it would be the version that I use. Again, I don't have a foil Frixion Alter, so whatever foil version I pull, I would definitely keep. Frixion Alter is different though in that it has the old border style, and I would love that because I really do love this old border style of artifacts. But this art is just so good. So, all right, moving on to the next card. Allosaurus Shepard, great reprint. It's only been printed in Double Master, or sorry, Jumpstart. So having this card reprinted in Double Masters is great for people who needed the card. For anybody who paid the really high Jumpstart prices, I know that this card at one point was over $200. It maintained over $100 price point for a long time, and now you can see it is $23.13. So for anybody who paid those high prices, I mean, that's disappointing. I luckily pulled it, so I didn't. So there's that. But these prices are much more reasonable. So anybody who needs a copy of this card should be able to get a copy of this card now. This price is obviously going to come down closer to this Allosaurus Shepard price. I want this foil etched card. I'm not going to pay this, obviously. If it comes down to a reasonable price, I may pick it up. If I pull it, I'd be excited. That'd be a good pull. I don't care for this art, so I don't see myself attempting to get it unless I pull a full art foil. Then I would replace the original copy with it. But this is more what I would be leaning towards, is getting the foil etched version. All right, moving on. All right, so sad story time, along with great reprint. Manivault, great reprint. We had it in Ultimate Masters. It has been printed many times over the years, but it had been a while, I think. So other than this, the masterpiece from Kaladesh, it had been a while since it had been reprinted when it was finally put in Ultimate Masters. Okay, so sad story time. I pulled this Kaladesh Inventions Manifold. I was so excited when I pulled it. It was one of my favorite cards that I owned at the time. I put it in, my commander decks, and it was great. But you know how it goes sometimes. You hit financial situations where that money that you could get from the card could be used for something else that you need to do. And so I sold it. I sold it for around $90, so not super cheap, but as you see from the price point now, I regret it. It's one of the few cards that I regret getting rid of. There's been a few other cards that I have sold or traded that I look back on and remember, and I regret doing it. It's kind of part of why my collection philosophy is what it is. If my collection philosophy had been the same back then as it is now, I would have never sold it. One, I didn't have another copy of Manifold. I didn't get another copy until Ultimate Masters. Two, it was a very unique copy of the card, and honestly, even to this point, if I could get my hands on it again, I would. It's my favorite printing of it. But this art is amazing. The art from the Ultimate Masters is, when you just look at the art alone without the border and the special, how special it is, the art alone on the new Manivolts is just better. It is. So if I could get this foil etched version of it, if I could pull it, I would be very satisfied. It would help take the pain off of selling the original, or selling that version of it. I also really like the art on this full art, so I wouldn't be disappointed in that either. That'd be a great card to own. But I think this is probably where I'd lie if I had to pick between the two. But this is also very good. But yeah. So Manivault, great include into the set. Okay, where are we with recording here? What time are we at? We're at 9:50. Okay, we could do a couple more. All right. So next is Atla Palani. So Atla Palani is, I mean, in the fact that it's never been reprinted, that's good, I guess. It's not an expensive card though. It was in a set that you should easily be able to find a copy of this card. So it didn't need a reprint, but you know, it's never been reprinted, so I get it. I also like the idea of being able to get it in foil etch. Also, I think in this Commander 2019 product, it's only a foil copy, so there's some people out there that really don't like foil cards. They want a non-foil version, so they'll be able to get that now with the regular Double Masters copy, so that's good. It's good for people to have more options. And so if I can get a foil etch copy, I don't want to pull it, but if I end up going after all the legendary foil etches in the set, I would definitely pick this up and be happy about it. I have all the legendary foil etches from Commander Legends, and I could see myself doing the same thing with this set, as long as none of them end up being insanely expensive. Okay, moving on. Cavern of Souls. So Cavern of Souls is a great reprint. I'm excited for everybody that the price is going to come down and you can get your copies of it. But for me, I have this copy in foil. I have that whole set in foil, the whole Zendikar Rising Expedition set in foil, so I'm not looking to replace that card. I don't need this in foil etch or the full art foil, although the art is really, really nice on this full art foil. And I like the way the foil etch looks. So, you know, I'm excited for everybody else to get copies. Pulling a copy is not going to hurt, though, because you can sell a copy of that, no problem. I have multiple copies of this card as well. One from, obviously, that. I think I have an Ultimate Masters, a Modern Masters 2017, and even the original. I think I have an original copy. So I have multiple copies of the card. I'm going to be looking to sell them all anyways and just keep this one copy. So it's not something that I hope to pull, but wouldn't be disappointed if I did. All right, moving on. Maybe this is the last one. We're looking at Senseis Divining Top. I'll check the time after that. So Senseis Divining Top, great reprint. I think we haven't had a reprint since Eternal Masters. It's been in the list, so you could count the list as a reprinting. And so it's a good reprint. A lot of people are looking to pick up this card. I recently sold or traded. I can't remember if I sold or traded. I sold it. Okay, sold this card. I have a version of the Eternal Masters card that's in Japanese, so very flavorful. I like that copy being in Japanese. It's a card most people know, so it's not like the Japanese language is going to make it super disappointing. You know, people are going to be like, I don't know what it does. Most people pretty much know what it does, but if I need to pull it up on my phone and show them, it's fine. I liked the classic and the art, but someone that wanted that specific copy, and I was looking to move on from one of them. And at the time, it was probably about twice as much as it is now. So I feel bad. So if the person's watching this, I apologize. You know, obviously we can't see, you know, into the future that it's going to get reprinted, and the price is going to drop. But you know, it's still a bummer, you know, when you realize you probably could have just waited a little while and got it. As for the reprint, obviously the foil etch would be great. Yes, right down here, I love this art. I like this art better. So this art in the foil etch would be great. I love this art. This is nice. It looks kind of like the shape of the old one, but it's more of a modern feel, like the new Kamigawa set. Full art foil, that would be great. I would love to pull that, especially at rare. Looks like a great card to include into the set. Okay, let's see, what time are we looking at now? We are looking at 14 minutes, so I'm going to go ahead and cut off the video now. I really appreciate you guys checking out my videos. Like, subscribe if you can, and we'll keep growing this channel. What I really look forward to is opening the product, because I'm getting it in a couple of weeks. All right, everybody. Hopefully you watch the videos leading up to that, and then that video. Everybody take care and have a good day.